Hello and welcome to our latest Gemini Rogues video. This is the Earn ship, Russian Tier 7. I was going to say cruiser, but it's vastly... yes, it's a cruiser. Okay,
we'll stick with that.
A bean-canned cruiser. What's it called, Kutuzov?
I'm going to go with Kutuzov. I don't know if my Russian... It sounded quite nice, hasn't it?
Yeah, your Russian's awesome, man.
We're just going through things. Oh, we're just going through the tools that you can apply to the ship,
upgrades.
if that's what you want to call
Very
it. Yeah.
expensive upgrades.
Some of them, if you've noticed, I haven't got that much silver. So I've just stuck on what I got available at the time. Told you what I had there. They have a bit concealment in the end. I opened an hard with this.
I went target acquisition because I want the extra 50%. So you have to get... So you don't not using your concealment to conceal.
It's like this. I've gone secondary battery just because I had one in stock. I wouldn't recommend you put the secondary on this to show you there. I'd probably gone with that with a range of the guns. They're awesome already. If you can add another 5% on top, I think I'd have been over 18k.
Wow.
Which is a mammoth, absolutely mammoth.
That's quite far.
That's some serious range on a cruiser, especially. Here's the first drawbacks we're going to come to on this ship.
HE.
Yeah, look at that shell damage for a Tier 7.
1800. Wow.
With only a 14% chance of fire.
Good points. 14%.
Yeah, it's not at all.
It's not.
When it comes to that. AP's not much better. 3,300. You're not putting holes in a lot of things with these shells. Let's put it that way. The big plus points we've already mentioned, 17.8k I've got on that, but that's just with perks. Torpedoes, only 8k, which is not too bad. You can live with that.
Bad.
60 knots, again, not too bad. Damage is quite impressive. Look at the reload. Look at that reload.
30 seconds.
Yeah, it's over 2 minutes. Over 2 minutes reload. And you do feel that. And it does become an issue. You're thinking, oh, they must be loaded by now. And they're just not. And you're still waiting for them. Still got 50 seconds left. Sonar, only 4.4.
Yeah.
It's one of them things. But it does have smoke. Everybody should be used to smoke now. The British cruisers are out there.
89 seconds.
That's pretty. Yeah, it's not bad. The smoke is pretty good as well.
Okay.
Reload time 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Sorry, which is another again.
Yeah. Look at the survivability. 40,700. It's not enough.
You need them.
Do you see that armor? 175mm maximum.
Yeah. And then there's your armament. Your 152mm guns. 4 times 3 of those. And like I say, 10 times. Not too bad on the turrets. 25 seconds. 8-second reload's pretty good. The range is that's its main plus point.
17.8
sheer range, and they are quite nicely grouped as well. I do like the grouping you get. There's not a sporadic fire. They
hit stuff.
Yeah, they tend to hit where you actually fire them, if that makes sense. So they're quite reliable for that. There's a torpedo. I think just held up with that reload time.
Yeah,
it's a mammoth reload time, but they are nice, and I like the nice 5 spread on them as well. So they're pretty
shift 5.2.
Yeah, and you can do that with another perk as well on the commanders on the rush line. And I think the last one we've got as well in the upgrades is you can have the rudder shift by even more. So,
okay.
But it's not always a good thing.
Why?
Because that because sometimes with a gun, turning, means you turn faster than what your guns can live with. So it's good at dodging shots, but it's not impossible to hit you anyway. So I'd live with the rudder shift. I won't use a perk on it to get it any lower.
It's a nice looking ship.
So there's plus points. Sure shot, which mentioned they're quite reliable shots.
Yeah.
And then the plus point again with the range we've already mentioned.
Yeah. Negative point is caliber of guns.
Yeah, and they are low, and it feels it as well. You can feel that when you first play the ship. I hit an Iowa with 20 rounds of HE.
Yeah. What did you do?
360 damage.
Wow. What was
that? That was 20 hits. That's not just I fired 20 shots. I hit with 20 and I did 360 damage. Just broke up.
What was you aiming at?
Side. They were landed on the top of him, and like you'd normally just get. Like I say, you're not going to smash him because you're firing HE, but I'd have expected out of 20 hits to have done more than 360 damage.
God, yeah. That's like Tier 1, man.
And usual Gene Bart player seems to be a bit of a standard manoeuvre for these guys.
Where's it going? You know that battleship on the map? That's a bit of a left to you at the top. Does he go any further forward?
No, it goes a lot back.
Is that the same battleship?
Yeah. Oh, this one next to me was heading that way now. It's one of these two. We'll keep an eye on them as we go through it. So, again, terrain not bad because it's got a nice loop.
Yes, they do dirt, don't they? Quite nice.
I liken it to playing the Boyce in a way, where you're just trying to hide behind cover.
Island.
Yeah, but
Cover.
you've got the added advantage of this one is with the smoke screen, like we said.
Yeah,
But
helpful.
the other problem you've got with that is if you've got teammates like I've got near me now who decide all they want to do is go backwards. So as soon as anything's spotted, it's you spotting it, and the minute you put your smoke screen up, you can't see them anymore.
So
you've got to really think, if I put the smoke screen up, am I the reason that person's visible, or you're wasting it?
Yes.
You really are wasting it. So let's have a look at them HE rounds. Not too bad so far. We've got a fire going up to 14,000 damage after the issy fitter through at the beginning. Saying how bad they are.
Do you use your smoke aggressively or defensively?
I'm using it now because I know that there's a cruiser, if you can just see him, has been lit up very briefly over to the, I think it's in a Tego off the top of my head, and if I keep firing at this Bismarck, I'm not worried about him spotting me. It's just saying, look, it's just been detected again, that cruiser. So it's him who I've got this smoke screen up for, and it's just allowing me to sit here impervious to people knowing where I am, basically. And I'm just going to use that to get that Bismarck, and then switch my attention to it as in a Tego. And we're going to see the AP rounds in a bit. But hit and miss. At this distance, I've used the AP. It's pointless. It really is pointless. Even on light stuff, light cruisers, it's not overpen issues. It's just full bore penetration issues. The Russian commander we've got in this does have the weird perk of improving your HE penetration by 30%, but reducing the damage by 15%. Which is a lot. It's a real eye kind of drop off both. So that's what I've got on this ship we're using at the minute. But he has got one that improves the AP penetration and the damage, and it didn't work. It just doesn't work. So if you're thinking, wow, you could try that, trust me, it doesn't do anything. The AP rounds are just not that. I mean, normally a side-on cruiser, you're top tier. It's not like he's a tier above you or anything like that. It's not like he's an armoured cruiser in any way, shape or form, but you're just thinking, well, look at that grouping, it's nice, isn't it?
He hits stuff.
Yeah, I do like its accuracy. It's not what the ship you're thinking, oh, for God's sake, at least hit it. Look at that, that's really tight, nice grouping. Accurate. I mean, it's behaving on this game with the fires. You mentioned it briefly at the beginning. It doesn't always do this.
I was going to mention the percentages, but at the moment the percentages would be higher than 14%.
Yeah, and it's just not normally the case.
So let's wait to get to about 200 shots.
And now we're in trouble. Now we have been detected and the smoke's run out. So get some torps off. It's just in range, look, 7.1 kilometres away from us. So his torps are good at 8 kilometres to get to him there. Again, look, fire. This is just, trust me when I say this is not a full representation of how often you'll set things on fire in this ship. It is an HE spammer, very like the Belfast. You know,
and the boys.
Tier 6.
Well, they're Tier 6, aren't they?
So, but he just doesn't do as much oomph as them rounds do. It feels like, but I think it's more accurate. It's weird. You're doing more, but doing less, if that makes sense. So he's just backed up around that corner. So he's dodged his torpedoes.
I noticed with the torpedoes that at maximum range of 8 kilometres, they do spread out quite too much. It gives them too much chance to avoid them.
I mean, you've had a game, I've had a game where we've had 200 shots and 5 fires, and you've had 7 fires at 200 shots. I mean, this is insane that we've got 7 out of 111. That's just kind of averaging. I've been expecting from about 250 shots normally in this ship. It's showing the ship at its best in a way that it's not that good a ship, I don't think, to be honest with you.
Put it this way, have you ever had a game with 200 shots for HE and you've got 25, 28 fires? Have you? I've actually lit.
Well, if you take Nelson out or something like that, it's ridiculous every time you fire it.
I know, I'm talking, this is supposed to be 14%. Ish.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way, does it?
Hit 14%, probably like 6 or 7.
But it's burning away nice, that's where we get most of his hit points from it. This is what I'm talking about with this ship. It's not one you're going to rack hit points up fast in, damage-wise.
No.
Unless your torpedoes manage to hit. From gunfire alone, you're not going to be citadeling a lot with the HE rounds, obviously, but you're just not going to rip holes in them either. You're nibbling away constantly.
I've noticed with the AP, 3-4 kilometres, you will citadel stuff, cruisers.
Well, we're going to see it now. He's now, so I switched to my AP now. I think, because at this point I'm thinking, there's no point firing HE. It's going to take me an age to kill him with HE. So we're going to take a gamble. We're going to try him. He's really close, 3.2 kilometres. So here's the first volley from his front guns. His back guns are still turning. Nice, 2 citadels.
Very nice.
So up close and personal, these are potent.
It does prove
these are potent. Over distance, forget it.
I reckon between 4 5 kilometres, you'll probably
get your
will
AP
Citadel
Yeah.
cruisers.
I mean, that's without the AP perk on as well. I mean, that looked like the AP rounds. Why aren't you firing them before? Trust me, this is about 10 games into playing this ship.
Yeah, at distance.
The AP. When I say it does nothing, I literally mean it. You hit cruisers and do nothing with a volley. It is hard work. So, I mean, we're up to 87,000 damage here. We look like we're in pretty good control of this. We've only lost 2 destroyers on this team. They've got 1 left destroyer. And they've lost a cruiser and a battleship. So, I'm thinking if I can get myself in a position over here towards these rocks and, like I say, typical cruiser style, get myself covered and get some shots over some terrain, I'll be in pretty good stead. It's not going to work out. It never does, but it's not going to work out. Oh, this Colorado is going other than getting in my way, but we'll have to get around him.
Let's just give it some pros. What's the pros with this Tier 7 Russian?
Look, it's pretty agile.
Soviet.
I do like its agility.
Manoeuvrability.
The dispersion on the shells is pretty good. I'm struggling for anything else.
It's definitely manoeuvrable.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at
very
that.
manoeuvrable, very manoeuvrable. But it's going to show its light later on. If you do get hit by anything, I've been ripped to pieces by Belfast in this. Absolutely ripped to pieces by them. Not just like nibbled away at me and finally killed me. They've just ripped me a new one.
Well, let's turn it round. What's the best way to destroy this?
Just shoot it. It's not as simple as that. Honestly, it is as simple as that. I would, if I were in anything, I would not be scared of this. It's one of them ships where if I saw one, I wouldn't be thinking, I need to get undetected quick, or he's going to waste me.
I'm going to predict something. Right, at the end of this earn period, and everyone earns it, you'll have a mad flurry of them.
Yeah, and then
you'll not see many again.
A bit like the Atega.
Yes.
I know we saw one in this game, but you don't. It's not a ship that's generally. I mean, there's Gene Barts everywhere.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Gene Barts.
there's Belfast everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
But you don't see Ategos, and this will be exactly the same thing.
I think everyone will have a go. Think, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, might take something else out.
Yeah. I mean, again, we set some more fire there, got another one going. It's at this point you're thinking, where's this team gone?
Oh,
where's it just gone?
It's gone.
We're still struggling to get across it. I was trying to get to that island there just before the Iowa come round that corner.
Yeah.
And now he's spotted me, so I'm going to use my smoke screen again. He's already fired his salvo off quick.
Quite lucky.
And it's just where the map falls to pieces around me. And I just get penned in. I just make mistake after mistake. Well, I don't really make mistake. I'm kind of like trapped now. Their team like pushes and envelops me and surrounds me, and I'm still spotted here for some reason. I'm in my smoke, so you can see that the smoke's not that great, especially with the guns.
Where is he? He's 6.3
6.3 kilometers away, and still spotted after firing.
He's inside your camo circle.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, isn't it? Even though you're in smoke, so you can see here that the smoke screen, it's got one, but it's not destroyer-esque.
It was pretty big then. Oh, it reset, didn't it?
It's because I fired before. Yeah. He's just going to get back around that corner before I can.
Torp him.
Get them torps in.
See what I mean about the spread? They do spread out quite nicely.
Would have caught it if it hadn't been for that island, but you can see like I don't know what the guys are doing in that cap circle. They've not really done anything in this game. Just kind of
battleships.
Yeah.
Are they all Gene Barts?
Possibly, because that's just what you get from Gene Barts now. I've noticed it at Tier 1 playing the new Tier 1 Russian cruisers. Normally a Tier 1 game's just
frantic.
Everyone
chases
everyone's
into each other.
It's like wacky races, and that's what I was just spotting me there, the swine with aeroplane. But now everyone just sits back like a Tier 7 game, and it's like, you can tell what Tier 7 players are back playing Tier 1, and they're just it's just so weird.
Hide behind islands and everything.
Yeah,
it's
weird.
Come and fight. It's Tier 1. Fight.
But then we're all sat at the back trying to hide together. It's really annoying. But I thought at this point, we're in trouble here. I need to make something happen quick. So I'm going to make a crazy mad dash across here. We're going to get spotted. I know we're going to get spotted. That Iowa's there. Not too bad. If you put the propulsion on this, I think it'd be even faster and more nimble.
I use the propulsion.
It's just an option.
It is very manoeuvrable.
So look at these guns are looking at you. You think, no. They'd look it my way and I was trying to minimise the angle and get ready to turn if I can. Another fire. I tell you, this is just ridiculous with fires. It does not behave like this most of the time. I try and get, he's not fired yet. He must be reloading. Lucky me. And I just get around that corner in time. But if you notice, just to my left, the Yipper. He's pushing around towards our cap. I think he's got a destroyer friend with him who's going to wipe most of the rest of the team out. I know if I go around this corner now, at that distance, that Iowa's just going to wipe me out before I get a single torpedo shot or anything off. So I'm a bit screwed. And then just to top it off, you know, the other hour we just set on fire.
Yeah.
He's coming right round there with him next to him. So the chances of getting out in front of one and getting some torpedoes off and taking him out is slim.
Thing is,
we're two looking at you. It's near enough impossible.
Thing is, the point I was going to make just then is that this ship, anything close up with big caliber guns,
it's gonna rip you apart.
It's not just going to overpen you.
Yeah.
He will rip you to shreds, and you lose.
That's what I'm talking. Tier 6 cruisers will absolutely rip you.
So this is what I'm going to class as a death run.
Yeah.
Because you know you're going to get wiped out.
Well, I'm trying to pick on the IPA. I'm trying to pick
You're saving yourself slightly.
This is the AP at distance. So let's have a look what we got. I don't think it's too bad if I remember off the top of my head.
10 kilometres. Oh,
that's what you're going to do. That is a proper generalisation.
Yeah.
I know that's pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm in the right place.
Yeah, it's hard to say on that one. We weren't
Got
6,000. That worked. It couldn't have been me. I've only got 3,000.
No, you got 8 shots landing.
And look at that. It's just ripped me. He has ripped me. That's what's going to happen to you all the time. So I'm on death rows here. Iowa's coming to try and finish me off here. So quick. He's fighting. Just got him off. Got him off. So got him off in time. I don't know how. He manages to straighten up in that short space of time and only takes 2 of the middle ones.
Oh yeah.
I do not know how he managed to turn that so quickly.
He missed that.
Yeah, that's why he's gone through the middle of them. It's impressive, to be fair.
It's nice to have seen that, to be honest, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we 203 shots, 9 fires.
Yeah.
4 incapacitations, blah blah blah. Secondaries to 3 shots on him. I do think it's very Hohotnik.
Yes.
If you get up close and personal, so he has got torpedoes loaded, you're in trouble because he's got 5 coming off one side.
But you've got to be seriously in the wrong position with your guns pointing in the right.
Gene Bart reversing towards back at map. That's a surprise. That's all they seem to do.
It is French, though.
It's
French, man.
It just everyone just plays these in reverse.
Why do you think the guns are on the front?
I always get the teams like this with the top tier battleships who just want to head straight to the back of the map as fast as possible. And I always get the Iowas in this game who've pushed across the middle of the map and are making advantage of the terrain and supporting the cruisers and that, like the Iowas were there. But each to their own.
Shall we just quickly round up the Soviet Russian cruiser? Call it bean can, man.
Hard work. I'd like to say that. It's
got a high skill set.
Yeah, it's enjoyable to the point of being rewarding when you have a good game.
Yes.
If that makes sense, because you've had to work so hard for it.
Yeah.
So it's very Hohotnik like that. You know, the Tier 4 destroyer we've recently done, where it's not the easiest ship to get productivity out of.
Definitely.
And this is exactly the same. But having played down, I've only briefly touched on the actual tech tree line of cruisers. I don't think it's anything different. Normally the premium one's different to what the actual tech tree plays like. The tech tree feels very similar. Very similar in all ways. Guns, HE rounds, torpedo in, manoeuvrability, they all feel very similar to that Tier 7, just like baby versions basically.
I think primary weapon is HE, innit? HE.
Well, I think that's a good way of getting people to try the line out.
Yeah.
And see how you get on with them, and that'll give you a good idea what you're going to think of it. Just beefed up a little bit.
Yeah, very good point, actually.
So see if you like the tech tree line. You might like this. If you don't, then this is very similar, I'm afraid.
I think the way you use your torpedoes on that Iowa proved how most people will use them. Near death, run, torpedoes, then you let them off and you go, ooh, bit of a reward for dying.
That's the problem with the torpedoes, though.
What?
If that hadn't worked, it's over 2 minutes before they're loaded again, unless you can swing it round to get the other side off.
Well, that's what I mean. It's your last resort. It's like a death run.
Yeah. And if you miss with them, they're going to shred you. Everything's shredded.
Because close up and personal to Iowa, you're going to do nothing anyway with your guns.
I got absolutely peppered by a destroyer in my hand.
I know.
He absolutely ripped me a new one, destroyer. That just shows how weak it is.
I got ripped by the Germans, Z whatever it is.
Z23.
Yeah. I got ripped. I thought, so I just gave up and just went for him.
I mean, that's what I want to say. We didn't see it on that video, but I have fought destroyers in it, and the HE rounds are not even potent against them.
I know.
It's
frustrating.
You really have to keep smashing away at them. I mean, it's not normally example, Marble Edge. If you come across a destroyer, I know it's a Tier 4, but half a volley, he's half elf. Next one finishes him off.
Yeah.
I had a fight where Massive took me about 16 full broadside volleys to I didn't even kill him.
Wow.
So not the best for me.
Okay then, Killers 05. Let's call that a wrap on us. Russian Soviet Tier 7 Earn Cruiser. And I would just say, earn it.
Yeah, earn it.
Earn it.
It's only 2,500
Yeah.
gold, so for, what's that, is it £7 something?
Yeah, it's something like that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
for £7, it's well worth it.
Definitely Killers 05. Thank you very much for your Soviet knowledge, Killers 05. And later.